thank you to everyone that's been supporting us on our Instagram. I'm sure most of you guys are tuning in from Instagram because this is going to get posted on Instagram first and then on YouTube after that. But welcome to the first episode of The Bottom Line. My name is Syed Turab, and I'm one of the co-hosts of The Bottom Line, joined by Deepak Mehta, the other co-host, waving on your screen right there. Before we get started, we want to make sure that everyone's staying safe during these times. Make sure your mental health is on point. We're just living in these tough times during a pandemic, and we just got to help each other out and look out for each other. Before we tell you what the bottom line is all about and what we want to accomplish, we want to kind of tell you what our experiences are and like a little bit about ourselves. So for me, I have a degree in information security. I'm a Sheridan alumni. I actually graduated back in November, so last month. And currently I'm working in the financial sector as an information security professional. The thing with cybersecurity is that like it's most people outside of the cybersecurity world don't know like the difference between cybersecurity, information security, or network security, and they're all interchangeably used. The thing is like information security is huge. There's many like disciplines that come into information security, and for me, I have experience in data loss prevention, and then I have little working knowledge with like a bunch of other things such as ethical hacking, cryptology, malware, forensics, and so on. And my goal is to always keep learning as new trends come, because cybersecurity is a field where like you got to keep learning to keep up. I also have a growing interest in finance, and I've actually been learning a lot from Deepak because he actually has financial experience. So I'll pass it on to him to tell you more.
Yeah, thanks. So I actually recently completed my undergrad from the University of Toronto in Rotman with a specialist in public accounting and a minor in economics. After graduating, I got some public accounting experience at one of the big four firms. And currently, I'm working as a trusted strategic advisor in the financial sector, helping businesses through leveraging my knowledge and experience in various areas such as cash management solutions, for example, working capital for operating expenses and capital expenditures, budgeting and forecasting, and debt restructuring and tax minimization, which are two things that we do hope to cover later on in the coming weeks and months ahead. With that being said, I'm going to pass it back to Syed, who can really dive deeper into the purpose of why we're starting the bottom line and what we hope to accomplish with this.
So I'm sure this is what you all were waiting for. As you saw on your Instagram page, we were posting a bunch of stuff pertaining to like tech, accounting, finance. And with that being said, like our mission is to help you guys, to give back to you. We want to help you guys, our viewers, learn new skills that you can utilize in both your professional and personal lives. And accounting is one of those skills, along with finance, and Deepak will explain more about those.
I'll just jump into that. So accounting and finance are really essential skills that not everyone is completely familiar with, but it's absolutely critical to have at least a baseline understanding of them. This will not only help our viewers achieve their personal financial goals, as you mentioned, but it'll also help our viewers that have an entrepreneurial mindset who don't necessarily have the business acumen to arm themselves with the tools that they do need to reach the next level.
Yeah, and then it's also clear that with the COVID-19 pandemic, it's necessitated businesses to change how they operate. At the center of this change is technology, which is enabling organizations to transform their business and operating models, and respond to the ever-changing competitive landscape. So, for example, working from home, like businesses that weren't supposed to work from home are not forced to work from home. So, like, it's essentially like critical for like small business owners or even like large business owners to build like a foundational understanding of like technology and more specifically cybersecurity. And I'm not being biased here, it's just the thing, like cybersecurity is like really like important in these times. And like you want to like protect and grow the business moving forward, even if you're like a small business or a large corporation. Conversely, these skills are gaining further attraction in the workplace as employers are increasingly looking to hire individuals with a robust understanding in areas such as phishing or like multi-factor authentication, having strong passwords, and like so and those are just some of the things. Like there's many other things like in security that like basic stuff that people neglect, which we will cover in further episodes to educate you guys so you guys stay safe online, not only in the professional world but in your personal life when you surf the web or use the internet.
That being said, we'll also have weeks where we touch upon a variety of other topics, whether it's the stock market and investments, sports, or really any other interesting developments that occur in the world. And like, there's a lot of it, especially now. So definitely something to keep an eye on moving forward. One thing I wanted to cover now, like this is obviously a very eventful week with the IPOs of both Airbnb and DoorDash. But one of the events that seemingly flew under the radar was FireEye, which is the top cybersecurity firm that was hacked. So Syed, for our viewers, could you maybe dive into what FireEye really does on a very high level, what exactly happened, and then what the potential future impact and consequences may be of this?
Yeah, so I could go in like really depth on this, but our viewers are like they come from like all educational backgrounds. So I'm just gonna give like a high level understanding of like what FireEye is. So it's, as you may know by now by reading the news, it's a major cybersecurity firm based in the Silicon Valley. Their job essentially is to provide cybersecurity protection. So for example, protection against malware and intrusion. Those are like high level things. Of course, I can go in detail, and we will go in detail as we progress in our podcast. But that's just a high level thing of what they do. They protect against intrusions or attacks, and that's what they do essentially.
So knowing a little bit more about what they do now, so can you just explain a little bit on what events really might have transpired to lead to them getting hacked, and just dive a little bit more on like how this will impact their operation moving forward, any other competitors, or like how businesses are going to work around this now?
So the reason they got hacked is not because their security was bad or anything. They're a cybersecurity firm. They're well respected and they have a really good reputation. At this point, it's just a political war, and several reports are saying that Russia was behind this. So Russia wanted to target someone like a company in the United States, and FireEye happened to be one of them. And what essentially happened was their red team tools got compromised. So most of you all, if you don't know what red team essentially is, it's basically red teamers are responsible for carrying out offensive attacks within an organization, and then after they do that, so basically they're hackers within the organization, but like they're working for the organization, and when they perform their hacks, they provide remediation to protect if it actually were to happen, just to make their security stronger. And what happened was these red team tools that FireEye has, they got compromised, and the people that got it, so supposedly Russia, they have a hand on these red team tools, and these are like really dangerous, like offensive security tools, which can be used in a really bad way against like companies in the financial sector, government, you name it. Like it's really, really scary of what can be done.
So how do you think they're going to sort of remediate this stuff moving forward? Like what sort of approach do you think FireEye is going to have to take in terms of protecting itself against future attacks?
So in my opinion, like I said, this is a political war. So the FBI and the investigators are saying that Russia is behind the attack, as I mentioned before. If the offensive security tools are in the hand of the wrong people, they can pretty much do anything, like target the financial company, stock market, etc. It's going to come down to each one of us to be aware and alert. For example, always confirm your credit card bill. Do not click on suspicious links. Like as you guys saw, we posted the phishing story where like how many of you all have been phished, and I believe like there was like 80% of you that said you were phished. So don't fall for phishing. Be alert, be aware, and then have strong passwords. And then, of course, all organizations are on high alert, as we know, and security should be imperative for all businesses. FireEye had a lot of clients, so around like the U.S., Canada, including like clients in the financial sector and also like government. So everyone's aware because FireEye, like they're a vendor. At the end of the day now, like now it comes down to each of their client, kind of like, so I don't want to get too in depth, but like it's kind of like a shared responsibility at a very high level when it comes to security. When a vendor offers their services, they hold the client responsible for certain aspects of security. I'm gonna leave it at that because I could go on about this, but I don't want to confuse you guys or get you guys lost. But just remember that like all of us have to do our part in order to be safe against this, because the bad guys could use these red team tools in like a really bad way to target our daily lives. So like banking sector, or like say for example like online shopping, you name it. So like just be aware and critical of what's going on online and be safe.
All very interesting points. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
that. So I was just looking at a little bit at their shares, and I noticed like shares were obviously trading at roughly about 15.50 at market close on December 8th, right before
Yeah.
the attack. So they ended off the week today at about 13.80, which is basically down a little over 10%.
Yeah.
From an investment standpoint, I guess it's sort of debatable right now whether or not the stock can be considered a buy, but it's gotten strategic investments from Blackstone and ClearSky, who will be strategic partners going forward. And they've also said in the statement that they'll be using the proceeds from this investment to support future strategic growth initiatives. So there's definitely some upside there
Yeah.
if you want to look into that and monitor that moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you guys did see we posted the FireEye stock and see just to show you guys how it's doing, and like we will continue to monitor that. It's actually interesting to see how it's gonna go up or down. It's kind of unpredictable at this point. But yeah, and one thing I also wanted to mention is that like when an attack like this happens, even like say quote unquote like the competitors of FireEye in security, everybody tends to work together because say for example Symantec, they're another quote unquote competitor for to FireEye or Microsoft. They're gonna be on high alert too, and if they see anything that they find suspicious, they're gonna share it with FireEye to make sure that everybody within like the U.S. or like a certain region that could be a part of like a state attack, a state cyber attack, are like all aware of the things going on. So security, in a sense, like it brings companies together more than like for them to compete against each other. Like right now, Microsoft, who was a quote unquote could be classified at a very high level as a competitor of FireEye, they're helping out FireEye recover from this cyber attack. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there that security folks work together more than like compete with each other.
So yeah, this is definitely something that's very valuable for our viewers to know. I know I learned a lot from this event transpiring as well, so I hope our viewers are able to get a little bit more knowledge there. That being said, can you just dive into our agenda for next week and the coming weeks ahead in terms of what our focus will be moving forward?
Yeah, so we could have gone on more about this, but again, we don't want to keep the first episode dragging. So we'll just talk about the agenda for next week. So again, much love and appreciation for all of your support on Instagram. We would love it if you could also subscribe to our YouTube channel, as this podcast will be uploaded there. First, it's going to be on Instagram, and then it's going to be eventually uploaded to YouTube. So if you could support us on there too, that would be amazing. And like we're truly grateful for everybody. And we'll be essentially providing you guys with a list of topics for you to choose from. We've been kind of doing that this past week, telling you guys, asking you guys what you want to see with like those question polls. And you guys wanted to see like cloud and Linux, and you wanted to see like daily shows of like what stocks to buy and what not to buy. So we can definitely put that in your future podcast. But yeah, we will be look forward to those polls and those questionnaires on Instagram. And we want to basically talk about what you guys want to hear. So say if there's like a sporting event going on, we'll talk about that. Or like you guys want to learn about the stock market or anything cybersecurity related, tech related, anything. For example, we posted the Facebook what do you guys think? Should Facebook sell WhatsApp and Instagram? And a bunch of you voted on that. So yeah, those are really like some of the like only some of the topics that we could talk about, and it's honestly up to you guys of what you guys want to see, and we'll try our best to educate you guys. And yeah, just keep keep checking our Instagram page, and we will be active on there for you guys.
And like Syed said, I want to echo those sentiments. We really want you all to be the drivers of what we talk about on a week-to-week basis, because we want to keep our audience engaged as much as possible, and make sure that they're getting as much out of our videos as possible. And really, we want to know that we're adding value, right? So that's our focus, and that's what's going to drive us forward. Just to wrap things up, again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you'll tune in again next week and check out our next podcast. So until next time, stay safe, everyone, and we hope to see you again shortly.